Kapla, everyone. Switching over to live chat. Hello world, Kapla. Thank you, Thomas Potts, for the $1.99 super chat that just came in. Welcome, everybody. It is a very special Monday, October 28th, 2019. This is going to be a little different bed life than usual. Wesley Crusher, our very own Wesley Crusher, has gifted me a game I've never heard of before. Well, I heard of it about 2 days ago when he gifted it to me. I've never played it. I didn't look up, I promised Wesley I wouldn't look up any videos on it. I don't know anything about it, except from the pictures I Googled to get the thumbnail image, and it's some sort of open exploration game. And Wesley just told me it has multiple endings, takes 10 to 30 minutes, to finish. Thank you, Joseph Patrick, with a €2 super chat, testing the new card. The new card's working well, Joseph. Thank you so much. He also wanted me to warn everybody, if you've never played the Stanley Parable before, this will kind of be a spoiler. So I guess this is really a game you want to... I gotta take this one out. I hate having two things in my ears. This is one you want to play for the first time, I guess. Truly knowing nothing about the game, so if you might feel that you ever want to play the Stanley Parable, maybe you want to skip till later in the stream, or skip today's stream altogether. I don't know how many playthroughs I'll go, but apparently it takes 10 to 30 minutes to play through, and there's multiple endings. And it's best if you play it not knowing anything about it. So, that's where we are. Let me read some of the chats before we get started. Joseph Patrick was on early at 3:25 p.m. and said soon. I said it'll still be about at least an hour. And Joseph said soonish. Joseph says, ¿Cómo estás, Héctor? Espero que todo esté bien. Te vamos confundir. Actor says to Joseph, El pajo se confund sofo poco asida necesita. I believe he's saying he's confused by his requirement. It's necessary for him to have a sofa on his porch. Actor says the Stanley Parable. I have it ready to install since I won some end of the year indie awards. Since it won some year-end indie awards years ago. Yes, it is an old game. YouTube tells me it's from 2013. So if you haven't played it yet, there's very few people. You're probably not likely to play it at this point. Joseph Patrick says employee 427. I don't know what that means. Joseph says this will be so much fun. Wesley Crusher says bird of prey, I'm here. And he says greetings birds, turds, doomcock nerds, and sleepy alpacas. Kapla Wes, and thank you. Well, I should thank you at the end. I'm doing a preemptive thank you. I'm trusting you that this is going to be... Now, Wes, I'm telling you, if there's something that jumps out at the screen and scares me and I die, you have to take care of Mama Prey. That's the deal. Because I do not like things jumping out at the screen at me, okay? I don't want that. So if that's going to happen, you need to tell me now. And Sassy, and Sisto, and Sister. But you gotta take care of the whole family. Wesley's his bird of prey laid in his bed, staring at the computer screen, waiting for all his friends on YouTube to arrive to the show. And then I said, Kapla all soon, so I hadn't even started the stream yet. Joseph says he's 24 minutes late. Wesley's his bird of prey wondered to himself, what game did Wesley Crusher get me? Why did he want me to play it so badly? Joseph says, Wesley, I just watched some YouTube videos. It's hilarious, and I hope Joe will like it. Well, that's very cool. Cinnabon Bunny says, start, oh pray. Joseph says, give him some likes, guys. Yeah, thank you. Give me some likes. Wesley's a bird of prey. Typed in the comments chat, Kapla all soon as he worked on the computer to get the live stream started. This is getting weird. Wesley says, hey everyone, do not ruin the show by telling Bird anything about this game. Yeah, Sassy, it means you too. She's not happy. Cinnabon says, what game is it, Wes? And Wesley says, Cinnabon, you will see. It will be fun. Thomas Potts with 2 T's says, hi, welcome, Thomas. Joseph says, and here we go. Shronmore says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey 5, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. Cinnabon Bunny says, it's about time. Sassy, there's nobody outside. There's nobody outside. I just checked. Cinnabon says, about time. Wesley Crusher says, I'm calling it the Bird O' Prey 5 parable. Josh Street says, Bird, you're back from your 5K run. Yes. And Shronmore says, and greetings to Sassy. Chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Mama Prey says she almost caught a squirrel today. You almost caught yourself a little squirrel, Sassy? You were going to play with the squirrel, or you're going to eat it? Both? That's fine. Thomas Potts says, are you going, for $1.99 super chat, are you going to answer my question on the website? So if you don't know what he's talking about, because you missed my video or you didn't watch it all the way through, I've started a new segment, or it's not really a new segment yet, but I've started a new thing on birdofprey5.com, and I will take you there. So here we go. If you go to birdofprey5.com, as you guys might know, it's my website. Anyway, at the top, obviously, is the newest video of the day. Down here, it says new, Dear Bot, advice from Bird of Prey 5. If you click on that, if you read this, it's funny. I also read all this in my video, my channel welcome video I did earlier today. So you can watch that video if you want, or you can read this. But basically, Dear Bop is going to be kind of like Dear Abby, because I'm a certified life expert by the Kuroda Department of Certifiable Experts Department. So yeah, I'm a certified life expert. I can help people with any problems, any type of question you have, any problem you have, any advice you need. Write to me, Dear Bot. And it's anonymous, so, give yourself like in this sample admission here, submission about a 50-something-year-old YouTuber. Anyway, he wanted help on how to become a better YouTuber, and he said, sincerely, Anonymous Trekker. So we have no idea who Anonymous Trekker actually is, so, I understand that people don't want to put their real names on, some advice. It might be personal. It might not be something you want everybody to know. I don't know who's sending it to me. I don't get your IP address. I don't get your email address. You literally just type in the form, Dear Bird of Prey. You type in whatever you want. You hit submit, and I get it. I'll get it in an email, and we will go through them. And I got 1, 2, 3. I got like 7 submissions already today. So at some point, we will go through them, and I will offer my advice to you guys and gals on, you know, what you need to do, whatever's bugging you, and we'll go from there. Now, I do know that there was one entry from a Thomas Potts, but he had one T in his last name. So I did not think it was actually from the Thomas Potts, who spells his name with two T's, but I guess I could have been mistaken, I suppose. Though it's very rare I'm mistaken. Mike Richardson's greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, great bird of the internet. Congratulations. Greetings, Mike Richards. Welcome. Cinnabon Bunny, are you playing with him? Multiplayer? I don't think it is. Ozzy NF says 21st. Lol. Azine says hello there. Welcome, Azine. Derek McManus says greetings, Bird of Prey 5. Welcome, Derek. Wesley says Bird of Prey greeted all of his viewers in his normal manner. Then he started to read the chat comments. Okay. Joseph was testing out his new card. Actor says, I heard an alpaca designed this game. Sharonmore says, have you had any luck finding out who Anonymous Trekker is? I have my suspicions, but nothing solid. No, Sharonmore, I don't purposely go out looking for who sent me or may not have sent me any type of anonymous mailings. I'm not trying to find out who he really is. I mean, it could be Doomcock. It could be Nerdrotic. It could be Lore Reloaded. We don't know who Anonymous Trekker is. It could be anybody. It could be anybody on it. It could be Keltwoski. It could be Steve Shives. I don't know. We'll have to we don't have to figure it out. Don't dwell on who it is. That's not important. It could be, what's his face? Tim Pool. I don't know if Tim Pool's 50. He could have been lying. Or the ginger guy, Dave Cullen. Could have been any of these people. It could have been, what's his face? The guy, PewDiePie. Could have been PewDiePie. I don't know. But we'll never know. John the former peasant says, someone gift this man Master of Orion 2. Sharonmore says, you are coming in 5 by 5. Thank you, Sharonmore. Wesley says, trust me, guys, watching Bird will be fun to watch. Cinnabon says, Wesley, are you off today? Wesley says, Cinnabon, yes, only day off this week. Wesley says, no scare jumps, very cool. Cinnabon says, man, we could have been robbing banks, Wes. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, but you do have to save a baby from a fire. Well, that's okay. I assume I have a choice in the matter. Joseph says, Sharonmore, I hope for some answers from Joe as well. Very cool. Thomas Bot says, if Wesley scares you, he will automatically become Stanley president. Wesley says, Thomas, you mean Kuroga's president? Wesley says, Bird of Prey, but who is Bob? I'm Bob. I'm Ask Bob. Okay? I'm Ask Bob. That's me. It's another name. Actor says, so it's a dear white people kind of thing, Bird. Sure, Actor. I will help white people. I'll help black people. I'll help Asian people. I'll help Native American people. I'll help Mexican people. No gypsies. No gypsies. I'm sorry. It's Mama Prey's only prejudice. She taught me not. I'm kidding. There is no prejudices here. Even gypsies, I'll help. Mike Richards is smiling. Wesley Crusher says Anonymous Tracker is really anti-tracker. No, Wes. There's no, that's bull. Okay. Forget you heard that, okay? It's all anonymous. We don't know who Anonymous Tracker meant to be, if anybody. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movie says, Kapla, Mr. Londell. Wesley says, when Bird of Prey came into a room with 2 doors, he took the door on his left. Joseph says, 16 watching, still no dislikes. Mr. Londell says, advice from the love-torn... advice for the lovelorn from Bird of Prey. Things that make you go, Ozzy and Elf says Keltwoski is a shill. Thomas Potts says, I think Bird of Prey faked the question. That's also fake news. Mr. Londell, I seriously doubt Keltwoski would be writing you for advice. He gets all of his advice from Michael Burnham and Jet Reno. I can't confirm or deny that. Actress is robbing banks or robbing Kurdistani ships. Wesley says Cinnabon, maybe a payday later. Thomas says we stole stuff back, Hector. Then our base destroyed the ship. Cinnabon says Wesley, he's free all day. Actress says beware of gypsies. Someone can bewitch you and make you go thin. And Wesley says Bird of Prey, finish reading the chats and start the game. Yes, so we are ready to start the game. I have to, so from here on out, guys, absolutely only going to be reading chats that are either super chats or at Bird of Prey 5. It'll be very, very unlikely I read any other chats. Where is the Stanley Parables? Oh, I gotta start Steam. The Stanley Parable play. I will get the game screen up once this starts. Hopefully it doesn't crash everything since I've not tested it. Galactic Cafe. We'll do the game with the camera in the corner, so you guys can see it. Achievement unlocked. I think we can live with the camera in the corner like that. Let's see. Josh Reed says, say Bird of Prey 5 times, and Bird of Prey will show up to give you Beagle bits. Okay, so I'm clicking on begin the game. End is never the end. Never the end is never the end. Never the end is never the end is loading. Never the. I don't think it takes this long to load. I'm probably supposed to press something. This is clearly part of the game. This is not a loading screen. Not Ryan Johnson with a $5 super chat says, Bird giving advice. Nothing will come of this. Wesley says, listen to the narrator. I don't hear a narrator. I might have lowered the audio. I don't hear a narrator. And I can't get to... Son of a bitch. Okay, hold on. Red alert. Let me put up the volume somewhat. Not that I heard any. Click to skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, this is the story of a man named Stanley. I assume you can hear it.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Employee 427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Every day.
They had been made
so
exactly
no
for
days
job.
off.
And Stanley was happy.
Oh, happy Stanley.
And then one day, something very
Thank
peculiar
you.
happened. Something that
Son of a bitch! Ah!
ever changed Stanley.
Okay.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Is this the beginning of the game? I'll put the mouse on. Yep, it is. Okay, W moves. Mouse buttons. Oh, I can't click. Oh, what'd I do?
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
I
What if he had
closed
to
the
make
door.
a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But
He
the
has
one
to
thing he
eat.
knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be
I don't
told
see a
what to
toilet
do. Now
there.
it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Call somebody. I don't know. We're looking. Hey, 428, you in there? Wake up, 428. No. 429. Nobody's in there. Maybe they're a vampire. No, vampires you can't see through mirrors, not in glass.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Saturday.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Which way did I come from? That way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Or I didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There could be good stuff in these boxes. Shit. Orville Nation, Kapla, Sci-Fi Nation, Kapla.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
It's dark in there. This place looks boring. I'm taking the open door on the left.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What's this? Ah, nice. Loading.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Oh, that door opened by itself. Is there honestly nothing to click on?
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
You son of a bitch!
No, not the right.
God
Why would I
damn
have
it.
ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left.
It's up,
right.
up, down, down,
Yep,
left,
okay,
right, left,
okay,
right,
yes.
VA,
I've got
VA,
it now.
start.
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
What way is that? Son of a bitch. If you close this door on me. Okay, we got a truck with its lights on. Really? Fuck is this? I keep wanting to hit L like it's going to turn on the light in Space Engineers.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a
Wow,
spoiler.
this is
Quick,
pretty
Stanley,
cool.
close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
So everybody's office was
Rubbish
being
now.
watched.
The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time,
What?
suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, on the top.
You kidding me?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
What?
Let's find the story.
Well, let's go back to where I was. Maybe something's changed. Oh, now all the doors are open. Maybe I should have gone back. Everybody, inner
I'll say it.
guilt.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? No.
No! God damn it! He wants me to move, but I won't because he wishes it. I hear the ticking and the clock is moving. Does that clock have the right time on it? No, it absolutely does not.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I guess we're doing this again.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Use the computer in that room. It says Sci-Fi Nation. I'm trying to use all types of things, but nothing's doing any. Oh. I guess I shut it off. It sounds like I'm typing at the keyboard. Oh, now I'm on the desk. Okay. Where am I going? Oh, there's another computer. Well, that's not good.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
When do I get my gun?
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This isn't the other way. This isn't what was here.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
I think we're in Anne Frank's story.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what?
Yes,
Since
it
I've
was an
completely
office.
forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I didn't break the game.
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Son of a bitch. I'm not cheating. Oh, what's control do? Look under. So I'm crawling now?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Wait. This is not what it was. Okay, enough with the music.
Go back and look at
wow.
that fern.
Wow.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
There is no way this fern means anything to anything. It's a green fern. How did it know to shut off the music? God damn it. Fine. I looked at the fern.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Son of a bitch.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore.
What's going on with 234? God damn it. This game was made by Enderman of Doom, says Josh. I wish it was Sinatra music. Well, actually, Sinatra music would get a copyright strike or a takedown. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, you stop the adventure music. I think the line is drunk, and Bird of Prey, the line is drunk. The line is drunk. How did I stop the adventure music? By saying I've had enough of the music? The game understood
You know what,
what.
Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all
I should
sounds
have just
perfectly doable.
turned
Why
right
don't we
at
simply start
Albuquerque.
wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
No, I'm not going. I'm not going that direction. I'm going back to my office. God damn it.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild.
I want
Use your
space
imagination.
lesbians.
Whatever it might be,
Space
Stanley,
lesbians.
I'm ready for it.
I'm walking in a swastika. I know it.
Oh, no, not you
These are
again.
not space
Stanley,
lesbians.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
This looks familiar.
Ah,
The
a
fuck is
choice.
this?
We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Wesley says, you should have taken the door on the left. And Jaw Street says, Bird of Prey, you are inside Enderman's mind. That is very true. And Shronmore says, Bird of Prey, this is like putting someone in a barrel and telling him pee in the corner. Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Oh my god.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Ah, shit! That was loud.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
So this
decided
is
to
where
go to the
he
meeting
forgot
room.
about the
Perhaps he had simply
restarts.
missed a memo.
So there's going to be 8 restarts, and then I die after a long time. There's going to be blackness. Nothing. There's going to be a bookstore. Store. So maybe I can go left now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This is a conundrum.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Suicide.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Is it not over? Okay, I did go right. Chris Burgess is vertebrae. This isn't virtual Pornhub. You can't get space lesbians. It's a drop of a hat. Josh Streets is, yeah, the inside of Enderman's mind. Yosef tells me to go right. I did go right. Sci-Fi Nation says don't do it. Cinnabon says burn the office down, Office Space style. I would if I could. Wesley Crushes vertebrae jump off. And I did jump. And he says, well, that's 3 of the endings. Sci-Fi Nation says, good old Kurogan sense of direction. And Thomas Potts says Stanley O'Prey. Now there's no narrator. Good. There's no narrator. We're jumping again, I think. Back there. Wait. God damn it. I don't think I got turned around.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her.
This is it,
Who's
Stanley.
her?
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Is it a space lesbian? Is it Dax? It's dark. And this is where I'm in the dark. No, no.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to...
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
I pressed
Now
3
he's
buttons
pushing a
before I
button.
pressed the right
Now
one.
he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Press 9. Shrowmore says Bird of Prey sensed an opportunity. Stanley would, of course, never have thought of it. With no one watching, Bird decided to ransack the office and rifle through his co-workers' belongings for nice trinkets. Yes. Wesley says Bird of Prey, Mama Prey is calling on the phone. It was not Mama Prey. And Sci-Fi Nation says Bird of Prey, the game is trolling you bad. Must be made in Turdistan, indeed.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press Z to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press 3 to spend time with the boys. Where's the button to press to spend time with the girls or the ladies, let's say? Maybe that's 4. Oh, 5. Oh, 6. Nope. 7. Nope. 8. 9. 0. Nope. 1. 2. Nope. Guess we're pressing
So
3.
he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
Is this
The
fun for
mere
you,
thought
Wesley?
that
I'm
his
not sure it
decisions would
is.
mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press F to prepare dinner. Nobody's doing
As he
anything.
wandered
There's no...
through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley,
I don't know what we're
next
watching.
time the screen
Mark
asks
Andy.
you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I don't do it. Actor says the narrator is a close buddy from the guy from Saw. Chris Purser is lolling at something Joseph Patrick said. Joseph Patrick says Chris Purser just testing Joe's patience. Wesley says this is fun for us, torture for birds. Sci-Fi Nation wanted me to press 69. I thought about it. Didn't think the game would recognize 2 buttons at the same time. Actress's bird is in need of one of those spicy dating games. Is that a thing? Uncle Remus, can you fondle the mannequin? I doubt it. Wesley says, I think this is slowly killing Bird. Mark Andy says, wow, what am I watching? This is the Stanley Parable. Mark Andy, Wesley Crusher was nice enough to purchase it for me so I could play it on the stream for you guys. Mike Richards says, once upon a time there was a bird named Joe. Actor says, Mark Andy, the biggest trolling of birds since the last time Anti-Trekker was here. Wesley says, Bird, all you had to do was take the door on the left. Fuck the door on the left. But I want to hear about the door on the left. Multi Gunman says, Hi Bird, how's it going? It's going good, Multi Gunman. I'm sitting here waiting for a game that I know it's not going to do anything until I press the goddamn button. Signed by Nation says, nice Garfield quote on the coffee mug. I hate Monday. I can't. Hate Mondays, I guess. Can I leave? No, I can't leave. Why would I be able to leave? That would make too much sense. Can I turn this on? Can I open the drawer? Can I do anything? Wesley says you broke the game and stopped the best music ever. I am seriously questioning how did that music stop when I said enough? Like, it stopped so quickly when I said enough. It was either a 1 in a million coincidence, or the game was literally listening to my microphone and could sense the anger that everybody gets tired of the music at some point, and they just make an outburst, and that's the point they stop the music. I honestly, I don't know which is less likely. Actor says Bird is like Neo. Don't tell him which door he should take. Architect. Thomas's Potts is no bird of prey, not left, the other left. Multi-Gunman says, I hate Mondays too. She's a biatch. F her. Yosef says, Pet, press 3. I'm going to. Sci-Fi Nation says, is that game seriously that laggy? I don't know what's coming like to you guys, but it's perfectly crystal clear on my end. Oh yeah, look at that screen. It is. What I did is I have it up at 3000 at 4K resolution, and all the graphic settings maxed out. For me, it looks fine. I do see it's a bit jerky on your guys' screens. I think that's just because of the streaming. Okay, I'm pressing 3.
See? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Is the only way to win to quit to the menu?
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I...
Try cheating.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yes, Sassy.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through the wall.
This time the narrator's saying something different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Tips for not getting fired.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
There's duct tape. There's wrenches. We could use those things.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I'm gonna live here. It's mine.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Sweet FA. There were broom.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I like brooms. There was a TV here.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance.
This
to the
is the
story
entire point of the game.
whatsoever. I
Is
never
this
would have
closet.
thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope
agree.
your friends find this concerning.
So we got wire. We got.
Stanley was fat and ugly and
wrenches.
really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This doesn't look like an office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Huh? Oh, I'm talking to Sassy. Wesley says, vertebrae, don't go in the office. Well, it's too late now.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's fine. He's had a full life.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Did I win?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
And yet I can still move.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
These are some nice pictures. Nature paintings. There's no Sedona, but they're not bad. Stanley's computer. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout, though the core layout remains almost identical to its first iteration. This pacing of the open section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. The 2 doors. The set of 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley's Parables design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, exploring the contradiction this room posed. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Oh, we got solitaire. Oh, son of a bitch. If I right click, we got Windows 3.1 there. I can power them off. Employee database. No, they seem to come back on after a minute. Well, this is the credits, so I guess this is the end of the game. Or is it just the beginning? The office. An early version of the maintenance room. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. Am I going crazy? Am I sassy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Larger words. I can't see this image because of all this text. If someone could just get rid of the text, then maybe I could see what this game is about. Warzone. I didn't see a Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game, plus some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. I could have gone for some alien shooting. I mean, compared to whatever the hell this was. The lounge, an early version of the lounge. Stuff in the office. The apartment timer. In a previous version of choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Can't pick up the phone, though. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. I'm super lost now. Number one option. Number one option. First choice, obey, disobey, maintenance lounge, staircase. Number two, two options. Two doorways to maintenance. Number three, one option. One doorway to maintenance in the lounge and the original door back on track option. Before the vent, what about this? To confusion ending. Why are there chairs? You can't sit down. The Zending levers? These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Zending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. The game is now paused. Begin the game again, resume the game, options, return to menu, escape menu. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. I knew it! I said it! I said it! I said that was it. Was the only way to hit escape. Was that the ending? Back here. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each one meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Let's see, what are we doing here? Wesley Crusher says, "Yay, Bird of Prey, you found it." What did I find? The ending? Actor says, "Nice English accent. Look at those models." Actor says, "Yeah, I live in a barbarian country, Shronmore." Thomas watches Bird of Prey. You need to type into the computer 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, the lost numbers. Multi-Gunman says, "Shronmore, maybe it is gender fluid. Wait, isn't that some kind of oil we put in our car?" Wesley's Bird of Prey, the end is never, the end is never, the end is never. Gotcha. And Sci-Fi Bird of Prey, if you want alien shooting, play Saints Row 4. Actress is holograms. I think Bird is lose. He found an 80-inch TV. Nice. Is that it? Wes, did I pass the test? I don't understand. I don't know what just happened. Wesley, there was more. Actor says he skipped a lot unsubbing. Wesley is lolling. Yosef says you barely scratched the surface. There is like 20 endings, says Wesley. And Wesley says, and you cut that one short. So there was more to go? You said 10 to 30 minutes to walk through this game. It's been an hour. Should I restart it? I mean, I don't understand. You never saved the baby from the fire? Get back in the game. Yep, you passed the retest. The results are in. You did 3 endings. Actor says a Tilly. I'm not Tilly. Wesley says it's cool. I'm fine. Sci-Fi needs a bird of prey. That game looks more confusing than a turn to stand the instruction manual. Wesley says maybe another time. I don't understand. So there was more to the game. What's going on with Sassy? Anyway, let's go to some Dear Bird of Prey Dear Bop submissions, since we got some earlier today. And I'll be honest, I read through them, and I think we need to do a little bit of tweaking. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey, just find yourself a copy of Command and Conquer and have fun. I have plenty of games. It's not that I've been a shortage of games. Light with Matthew says, there is so much more to the game. Did he get to the ending where you jump through the window? No. John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki.
Divert auxiliary power to deflectors.
Maybe we'll play this again on Thursday or something. Well, Thursday's Halloween. Maybe we'll play this again when this round is over in Space Engineers. Shrelmore says, Bird of Prey, I'm confused as you. I've never heard of the game before. Wesley says he didn't find the Minecraft level. I highly doubt there's a Minecraft level. Not Ryan Johnson says, when are you going back to reading your quotes? I thought I read all the quotes that had at Bird of Prey 5 in them. Oh, my quotes on the webpage? Oh, I guess I need to do a quotes thing. Let's do a Dear Bop submission. So the first one I got earlier today was, Dear Bop, what are your preferred pronouns? From John Iraqi. Not John Araki, but John Iraqi. Well, John Iraqi, you're supposed to ask for help, for me to help you. So let me help by telling you that you should not be asking people what their pronouns are. You should not be telling people what the pronouns are. Just use whatever pronoun you feel is applicable. And if they say something else, and you choose, you have nothing against them, you want to respect it, then go ahead and respect it. If you don't like them, then don't. I don't care what pronouns somebody uses for me. If they want to call me she, hell, somebody's been calling me she for 3 months. Every time, I don't care. Okay? Normal people, well-grounded individuals, don't give a shit what pronouns are used. Okay? If you want to use she and her when referring to me, have fun. I don't care. It doesn't bother me in the least. Yeah, just Mama Prices, just double the super chats. No, I don't care, right? I think it makes you look stupid if you use she, But hey, if you want to look stupid, go right ahead. Be my guest. So no rational person gives a shit what pronouns are used. So don't worry about it. That's my advice on pronouns. And if you put your pronouns in your Twitter profile, you need to be rethinking your life priorities. Because that just makes no goddamn sense at all. Thank you, John Iraqi. Let's see. I love your channel. Thanks for all the new updates. Anti-Tracker never updates anything. You're welcome, whoever that was who didn't sign their name or a fake name. Yes, that's true. Anti-Tracker doesn't update anything. It's always Mr. Miles or me. Yeah. You are welcome. And thank you so much for liking my channel. But again, there was no actual question that I could give advice on. John Araki with a $2 super chat says, thanks for reading my question. Thank you, John Araki. And you doubled your normal super chat. Thank you so much. Mama Praise laughing. I didn't realize, I honestly didn't know it was your question. I just assumed somebody was using, a name they remembered from the chat. Dear Bob, the example text seems like it was written some time ago. Please update the text to read, as I'm a 60-something-year-old YouTuber. So what they're talking about is this sample submission I have on the webpage. And just to repeat it, it says, now this is what I expected people to write in. Not this, but in this format. Dear Bob, I'm a 50-something-year-old YouTuber, and I suspect no one comes to my channel to see me, but for the possibility of seeing a glimpse of my beautiful wife. My wife is also far too attractive for me, by the way. I was only able to win her over by making a deal with the devil. I decided to become a devout Christian after I met the devil in hopes of avoiding my ultimate fate. Anyway, my wife made me get a dog so I could walk it and lose weight. But then the dog was getting more popular than me, too, so I didn't let the dog back into my studio anymore. I claimed I had a surgery and couldn't let her jump up on me until it heals, but there never was a surgery. It was all a ruse to keep the dog off camera so people would watch me. What can I do to become as beloved a YouTuber as you, dear Bob? Sincerely, Anonymous Tracker. So you see, that's a perfect entry. I don't know who it's about, but it provides all the info I need to give a clear and concise answer. And I answered this in my video I did earlier today. I'm not going to repeat it here. Suffice to say, it was call the devil back up, make a new deal. He's going to get 2 souls, double or nothing, for becoming a great YouTuber, a great YouTube sensation. But the full explanation is in my earlier video today, my welcome to the channel video. Multi-Gunman says, Dear Bob, when are you announcing your candidacy for president of the Quadrant? As soon as there's an election for president of the Quadrant. Dear Bob, when I'm in battle and I'm losing, should I stand and fight like a Klingon, or should I run away like a cowardly Ferengi? Thomas Potts with 1 T. Well, Thomas Potts with 1 T. If you watch Deep Space Nine, Klingons have retreated when it made sense to do so. Despite what you might think, Klingons don't openly go into suicide missions unless there's unless they have to do so to protect other people. Or it's, a really glorious battle. They're going to deal the enemy an incredible blow. But despite popular myth, Klingons don't just, let themselves be killed for no reason. So if a Klingon ship takes a lot of damage and still has the power to warp away, There was no dishonor in warping away and fighting another day. So I say, if you can escape, if your defeat is otherwise inevitable, but you can escape, it is indeed your duty to escape, so that you can fight another day and possibly win. Right? Your goal is to kill the enemy. It's not to be killed yourself. That's the goal. So yeah, and it's not just Ferengis that retreat. Plenty of Klingons retreat. So we've got a new Dear Bop submission while I was reading these. Okay, but we're still a few back. Dear Bob, my name is actually Bob. Hello, Bob. And me and my spouse are trying to conceive a child for years, but it does not work out for us. I'm sorry. Greg thinks it's me, but maybe you could give the two of us advice. Yours truly, Bob. Well, Bob, here's the thing. Since your partner's name is Greg, and your name is Bob, I have this sneaking suspicion that you two are what I'd like to call baby making incompatible, or bamatimal for short. Okay, I will demonstrate using some items I have here. You see, if this is Bob and this is Greg, and you guys are like, no, this doesn't make a baby. It doesn't work like that. So you have two choices. Actually, you have several choices. You can adopt in most states and some countries, I assume. You can, one of you or both of you could just, do your best to not do this and find a willing woman to do something else with. And then one or two women have babies, and then you take the baby, not kidnap the baby, but you talk with the woman first. You say that I want a kid, I want you to be the baby mommy. She will tell you how it's done. You don't have to know. Just she'll understand. Don't worry about that. And then the third option is, and I'd say that this is probably the best option, is that there are tons of Kurdistani war orphans, because a lot of Kurdistanis got shot. Now, you can't adopt a Kurdistani war orphan, of course, because they've got too many diseases. They're not allowed in the country. But on rare occasions, Kurdistani doctors have sold the parts of recently deceased Kurdistani orphans. So you might be able to buy a uterus and ovaries on the Kurdistani black market for like $400 or $500. You find the right doctor, you can implant this into Greg, and with the right hormones, Greg might possibly be able to carry a child. So good luck, and you'll both make great dads, I'm sure. Good luck with that. Anyway, what's next? Oh, we got two new submissions. Okay, Dear Bach, you had mentioned in your last video 5 was a round number. Can you please explain the number 5 being a round number? Thanks, the Epic Beard. Well, Epic, here was what I was thinking. Okay, I had a maximum of 10 characters for the username. So I had Bird O Prey, and I had to have a number 0 through 9. Now, bird of prey 0 obviously sounds stupid, and therefore the most logical number is 5. Because 5 is like a round number. Now, I will say, okay, you say, well, any whole number is a round number. It's true. If you round up or you round down the decimal point, 3 is a round number, 4 is a round number. Yeah, but if you're an order of magnitude higher, like you're counting by tens, then 5s are halves. So 5 is the most round number between 0 and 9. That's just simple logic. If you don't see that, I can't help you. It's just you're born knowing that. If you're not born knowing that, I can't help you. Dear Bob, as the long-serving absolute ruler of Karoga, what would you say were the most important steps in your rise to power? I'm sure other aspiring dictators would benefit from your experience, not to mention the best method you've discovered to crush dissent, especially from Turdistanes. Sincerely, a plain and simple citizen. Well, thank you for asking, a plain and simple citizen. One thing you should do, just to be clear, is the most plain and simple career for a citizen to have is tailor. So I hope you are indeed a simple and plain tailor, simple and plain citizen. That will keep you off the radar of, future despots who are always looking to rub out the competition before they gain any popularity. As to the secret to my success, it would be, my natural charm, my good looks, my gravas. I don't know. It's something, it's something inborn, natural, I don't know. It's not a talent. It's almost like a musk that it makes women want to obey you, and it makes men also want to obey you, but from a distance. So yeah, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't tell you how to get that. It's just something you're born with, or you're not. I was blessed, but if maybe you're going to get to middle management, not quite up to emperor. But you could be a lord of a village or something, or a governor of a small island, perhaps, and that's still pretty good. I mean, you still have people that have to look up to you, and you can pick life and death, and you can enact prima nocta on your little island if you need to. So it's not bad. It's not bad. So definitely read The Art of War. By what's his face? General Sal's Chicken. Read Sun Tzu, or whatever, whoever made it. I forget the name, but the name's not important. The title of the book is The Art of War. Now, don't get it in the original Chinese unless you can read Cantonese or Mandarin, whatever the hell it's written in. Get the English translation. And read it front to back, then backwards to forward, then every other page, and then just the prime numbers, starting with 1, and then read it forward one more time. You'll have it. It'll go all into your brain, and you'll be set. Whether you're going to take over a business, you're going to take over a small country, you'll be everything you need. Also, if you need a little extra help, you can read The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. Some people find it more useful. Sci-Fi Nation says it's bravado. Yes, bravado. That's what it is. Unless you're born with that bravado, that's the best I can do for you. Okay, so here's the first Dear Bop submission I have not yet read. Let's see what it is. And these are only text-based, so there can't be anything terrible. Dear Bop, I'm very attracted to a YouTuber, AT, and I'm a guy. What should I do? Bird O' Prey 69. Well, that sounds like it's probably DJ Odyssey, since he was the only other person claiming to be Bird O' Prey. But it doesn't matter who it is. If you're attracted to a YouTuber, AT, and you're a guy, well, you should let AT know how you feel. You don't know. You don't know what AT's actual desires may be. Maybe this AT person, whoever they are, maybe they feel the same way. Maybe it's something their wife doesn't know about, or maybe the wife's okay with it. It's just kind of a secret that they keep. You should let them know. It won't hurt. And our final submission for today says, Dear Bop, I work in a large office. I often get lost in it. I'm looking for the meeting room, and I found my way to a room with 2 doors. Should I take the door on my left or the door on the right? You take any door you want to take, because I don't think it makes a damn bit of difference. However, if somebody tells you to take the door on your left, you take the door on your right. You do not listen to your narrator. The narrator is bad. Unless you've taken the door on the right like 6 or 7 times and it always ends badly, then take the door on the left just out of sheer curiosity. I hope that helps you. Okay. We'll be back. Good. So I've read quite a few today. Now, if anybody needs any actual advice, I'd be happy to read. Okay, so let's get back to the chat. And we'll go from there. What time is it? 6:42. 6:42. Okay. Actor says you will rewrite the answers or they will only be randomly embedded in your streams. Will you write the answers or will they only be randomly embedded in your streams? Yeah, they're going to be randomly embedded in the streams, Actor. Rock Solid says, remember people, smash the like button, share via social, set chat to live. Turn mic and camera on before going live. Donate if you can. Join the subscribe star and send your wedding gifts today. Rock Solid, did you get married? Congratulations. Actresses, I don't think that's how baby making works, Bird. Trust me. Sci-Fi Nation says Kurogan math is hard. Sigh. Actresses 5 is a round number, as it has no fractional part. It's an odd number. Sci-Fi Nation says 0 is a round number. It's literally round. Yes, but 0 is stupid. Actor says, yeah, if you run the round function on 5, you get 5. That is absolutely true. Mike Ridges says Bird O' Prey 0 equals Boppo the Clown. Actor says Bird O' Prey, you are officially authorized. Are you officially authorized to give advice to humans? Yes, Actor. I'm officially certified as a life expert by the Kurogan Department of Expert Certifications. So don't worry, it's all good. Rock Solid says your noise gate is set wrong, causing your voice to get clipped and cut in and out. That's not good. Though Actor says he sounds okay to him. Sci-Fi Nation says, I wonder how cheap Epstein's Island is going for. I doubt it's cheap. Joseph says Sci-Fi Nation with or without the girls. Mr. Lodell says Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War. It's really important that you remember the name. I don't think the name really figures into the strategies. Actor says, or Sun Tzu will beat you senseless. Sci-Fi Nation says, Joseph, the only girls I want is Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation, 18-year-old waitress bringing me fruity drinks with umbrellas. Miss Lundell says all this because someone exposed that Frank and Freddie thing. Joseph's a Sci-Fi Nation. Hi from me to you and Mrs. Best to her. Yes. Sci-Fi Nation, just read it, Joseph. Not Ryan John says the best part of the streams will now be the bird responding to Dear Bop submissions. Rock Solid says, yes, wedding was Saturday. Congratulations, Rock Solid. Really mean it. Many years, hopefully many good years ahead of you too. Thomas Potts says, congratulations, Rock Solid. And Rock Solid says, thank you, Thomas Potts. There's one more thing for today. And it's been, I've had, this is the emails where I read them, by the way. Yeah. Just checking. It's been a news story that I've had up for like a week now. And this is out of Arizona. Although the story's in North Carolina. Excuse me. Family fights to keep flagpole in yard to honor late son. Wake Forest, North Carolina. A grieving family has been told to remove a flag they put up to honor their late son. Leslie Dave Kendra installed it in May in tribute to Clayton Parks, who was killed in a mass shooting that killed 5 people in the Chicago suburb of Aurora in February. The family was given an American and Aurora Strong flags following the death, and they wanted to display them. But the couple said their homeowners association says the flagpole violates the community rules and must come down. It was like one more person trying to take him away from me again, wrote Leslie Kendra. I'm just stunned that there were, we as Americans want to discuss whether or not we should be able to have the flag on a pole on our house anywhere. A spokesman for the Homeowners Association says the issue is about installation of the pole without the group's approval. The Kendra said they have been told they could be fined up to $100 a day until the flagpole comes down. I hate homeowners associations, okay? When I was looking to buy a house, I was told no homeowners association. Now, there's not a lot of homeowners associations in New York City, so it's not something you usually have to worry about. But truth be told, about a mile north of me is a little section of Bayside with a homeowners association. I would not even have looked at homes there because I will never buy a home in a homeowners association. And if the only way I would ever do it is if it was at the beginning of the purchase or something, I want a written guarantee that I am not subject to the homeowners association's whims. And obviously they would never do that, so I would never buy it to begin with. But let's just say there was this home, and the builder was building, and they really needed to sell the last house, and I'm the only one who's looking to buy it. And I'd say, well, you better write in, I don't have to abide by homeowners association rules, and they, were desperate enough to do it. That would be the only way. If you buy a house in a homeowners association, you're giving up your freedoms. First, I do think that there was a law. I thought there was a law that you are allowed to put up a U.S. flag in the United States, regardless of what your homeowners association said. I suspect that the problem isn't the American flag, but this other Aurora Strong flag that they're flying. I thought I'd read that they passed a law saying you could put up an American flag regardless of homeowners association rules. Basically a state or federal law that superseded any homeowners association. Yeah. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
in front of every home in a development.
Right.
She did this for I don't know how many years, and then she got a mess.
Well, I would not be surprised if you stick him in front of other people's houses. Okay. Okay, so Mama Prey was telling a story about her sister. Who was putting in the flags?
She was.
Oh,
They also had a real estate farm.
okay. Oh, so that would also. So her sister, who's in real estate, was putting down American flags that also had her card on them in front of people's homes in Florida for the longest time. And she got a note saying she couldn't do that anymore. I don't think that's either here nor there. That's advertising. Those are tiny flags. They get swept up. They get blown away by the wind. They become damaged. They become they become like a piece of trash flying around. I'm all for them not allowing little sticks of wood in the ground with little American flags. But if you're going to put up a flagpole, or you're going to put a pole on your house, and you're going to fly a flag from it, you shouldn't need anybody's goddamn approval. Okay? You already own a house. You own it. But if you live in a homeowners association, you should know that you're already giving up these kind of rights, right? If they don't like your car, they won't let you park it in your own driveway. Like, F you, I'll park my car wherever the hell I damn well please. I would not live in a homeowners association. HOAs trigger me. If you live in a homeowners association, I hope you don't have trouble with it. I know people claim, oh, it's great. They take care of, getting the streets plowed and, my homeowners association isn't crazy. Well, good for you. But you know what? It only takes one crazy person to make it onto the board or become president of that homeowners association. You didn't realize you had a little Napoleon around the corner and they become president of your homeowners association. It's all going to go to shit and you're going to have to spend either thousands of dollars, many hours of time trying to fight it, or you're going to have to leave. So don't do yourself there. Do not buy a home governed by a homeowners association. That's it. That's what I had to say. Granted, it didn't turn out to be as much of a rant as I thought it would be, but I've calmed down about the homeowners association. But I do not like homeowners associations. So, let's see. Rock Solids' Bird of Prey is using MailChimp, I see. I am not using MailChimp. Where do you see MailChimp? There is nothing here that's MailChimp. I'm using cPanel that comes with my birdoprey5.com account. It's webmail. Oh, and we've got another Dear Bop submission. Dear Bop, my neighbor has a dog that keeps barking all the time. I believe it's a beagle or something. How can I tell my neighbor that his dog is bothering me? Gunfire is easier to sleep through. And that darn dog, I just don't know what to do anymore. Sincerely, not a dog lover. Well, not a dog lover, I'm glad you asked. This is a common issue, especially where people live closer together. So here's what you want to do, not a dog lover. You want to go to the store. You want to buy the biggest steak you can afford, a minimum 16 ounce. Preferably one with a big, heavy, big, thick bone in it. No little bones, big, thick bone. Okay? You're gonna put it on the barbecue, char it up, get it to medium or so, maybe medium rare. Cut the steak off, save like maybe 10% for yourself. But then cut the rest of the steak into, dog-sized pieces. And leave that big, juicy bone in the middle. And next time that dog is barking, you take the steak and the bone, and you go out there, and you give it all to the dog. And the dog will shut up for however long it takes to eat the steak. So if you can afford 20 minutes of steak, then the dog will shut up for 20 minutes. You'll be set. Give you enough chance to get to sleep, and all will be good. So hopefully that'll help. Also, I hear dogs like jerky. So if you don't like cooking steak, then go ahead and get yourself some jerky from the beef jerky outlet. Link on antitrucker.com. Dog jerky. They'll be good. They'll be good. That's the best way. That's the best way to deal with it. Anyway, yes. So this is not MailChimp. This is just round-cube webmail that comes with cPanel. FYI. Okay, where are we? Sci-Fi Nations is bird of prey. Since when is it illegal to have a damn flagpole in your own yard? That's BS to the max. I'm an independent progressive, and that is BS. Son of a bitch. Exactly. It's not illegal. It's against the homeowner's rules. Now, a homeowner's rules, they don't have to follow laws for the most part. I mean, they can't discriminate on the basis of protected class. But if they want to say, hey, no red cars allowed, right? Because let's say let's say there's 100 families in a development or something, and only 2 of them have red cars, and they could pass a law and say, you know what? No red cars allowed. If you have a red car, you've got to sell it, or you've got to keep it in your garage. You can never park it on the street, or in your driveway even. It's got to be kept out of sight. That's it. That's bullshit. They could do it. They could totally do it. All it takes is for somebody to see the person in the red car, and they get a bad look from them, and they can say, goodbye, red cars. And that's it. It's done. And that's ridiculous power the homeowners associations have. It is stupid to the max. Why anyone would voluntarily go into a homeowners association, I have no idea. And I argued with people at this on my web forum. They're like, a homeowners association increases the value of their home. Bullshit. It decreases the value. Like, well, you can't prove it. Like, well, you can't prove it increases it. What I can tell you is that I purposely told my real estate agent I will not look at homes in homeowners associations. So, presumably that minutely lowered the value of those homes because you had one less potential buyer looking at them. Now, if there's a dozen people like me saying that, then there's a dozen less potential buyers. If there's 100 people like me, there's 100 less potential buyers. I don't think there are people saying, I want a homeowners association, because you'd have to be an idiot to say, I want a homeowners association. I want to have less control over my house. I want to be told what to do. I want to be able to be fined by some idiot that lives next door because he won some stupid election that 6 people voted in. F that. No. Nobody wants to live in the homeowners association. So no, the homeowners association doesn't increase the value of your house. It only could possibly decrease it. Actress is illegal. No, homeowners association don't make laws. Right, it's not illegal, but they can fine you, and they can even foreclose on your house. If you owe your homeowners association $500 in back fees, you haven't paid them for a year or 6 months, whatever the hell it is in their bylaws or whatever, they can foreclose on your house. They can foreclose on your house over $500. A $500,000 house. They can foreclose your house, force you out of the house. Now, granted, they have to give you whatever they get for the house minus $500, but they're not going to be all that worried about how much they sell it for if they're not going to be the ones profiting. They take the $500 they get off the top. So, you're screwed. You're screwed. Agnes says, until now, at least in 2020, who knows? Wesley says, who the hell are these people? You can't tell. another what they can do with their own house. You can if you live in a homeowners association. Edgar says that's the purpose of these associations, indeed. Sci-Fi Nature says I'd fight that all the way to Supreme Court. Well, that's easier said than done. Rock Solid says they put a homeowners association in after I bought my home, working on prepping to sell next year. Very good, Rock Solid. Yeah, those HOAs are a-holes, indeed. Actor says they will pastor you when you are naked in your own front yard lawn, bastards. Exactly, right? Everybody has the right to be naked in their own front lawn. If you don't want to look, don't look. Sci-Fi Nation, just tell them you don't want anything to do with their nosy ass power tripping ass association, and you'll see them in court. Utter BS. Well, that's a lot of money to go to court, or a lot of time. Not everybody has the time to go to court. Mike Richards says, I know, right? Actor says, next they will ban Michael Bay movies. They are the only American flag, they are the only one American flag minute. FFS. Sci-Fi Nations, it sounds like Uncle Adolf runs at HOA. Joseph says not being able to walk around naked, no way. Roxalt says that web interface for webmail is the same as MailChimp. Well, it's a open source. Roundcube is an open source email client, web client. So it's very similar. Probably MailChimp probably uses it since it's free, as is why my YC panel uses it. Mr. Miles says someone said big thick bone, and I took it as a summons. First, Cree! Welcome, Mr. Miles. Not Ryan Johnson says bird loves the thick bones. Joseph says dog-sized steaks. No, not dog-sized steaks. Size that a dog could eat the pieces of the steak. Mr. Miles says first, Ferk doesn't count. Okay. Sci-Fi Nation says bird really likes big, juicy, thick bones. Mrs. Miles says, bird of prey, I train my dogs not to accept food from strangers. Bull crap. I don't want someone to poison my dogs. Well, I understand that. And Miss Miles says, isn't all of Karoga a giant homeowners association? No, absolutely not. Kurdistan is the homeowners association. In fact, Kurdistan just grew from a homeowners association into a puppet government. Sci-Fi Nation is Mr. Miles. No, that's Kurdistan, right? Joseph says, do you have to join the HOA? It sounds like BS. Well, that's the thing. When you buy the house, you have to join. It comes with the property. So you don't have an option. Mama Prey is feeding Sassy. Sassy's dinner time. Mr. Miles says, have you ever lived in an apartment? Yes, I have. But apartment's different. I don't own my apartment. I don't own the land my apartment is on. I've lived in an apartment. I've rented apartment. So obviously I didn't own anything. But even if I purchased an apartment, then I'm inside the building. That's one thing. I'll grant you. If I lived in an apartment, I shouldn't be playing the drums at midnight. Okay? But if I have my own freestanding home, F you. You don't tell me what to do inside my own freestanding home. Unless I'm like shooting a laser out the window that's melting your tires, go pound sand. Mr. Miles says a lot of people rent and they've learned to accept it. And yes, when I rented, I accepted that I was not the owner of the property and I had to follow somebody else's rule. That's perfectly fine if I rent. But when I purchase it and I'm paying the taxes on it, it's mine. I don't follow any other idiot's rules. I don't even like following the government's rules, but they've got bigger guns than I do, so I have to. But the Homeowners Association, no. Not Ryan Johnson says, bird rant. Thomas Potts says, going to work, see you on Anti-Trigger Stream. Take care, Thomas. FFS equals for F's sake. Yes, Mr. Miles, I know what FFS meant, but I didn't want to say it out loud. Sci-Fi Nation says, bird of prey. I would take as long as it took in the courts out of principle and to piss them off. I understand what you're saying, Sci-Fi Nation. I'm just saying that not everybody can do that. Yosef says, I think only song is missing in this dream to make it perfect. Speaking of songs, has anyone seen Kronos? Kronos hasn't been back in like a couple of weeks, and he paid me to do a song that's been sitting in my other web browser, and I haven't seen him, and I want to wait till he comes back to do it. So if anybody's seen Kronos, find out if he's okay. Tell him we miss him. I hope he didn't get offended or anything. I tried messaging him on Discord a few days ago. I haven't heard from him. So if anybody sees Kronos, say hello. Let me know if you've seen him, just so we know he's okay. Mr. Miles says, you own an apartment. It's called a condo. Right. If you can own an apartment, it's called a condo. But still, if I'm buying a cube inside a building, then I know that I'm part of a whole. I'm a fraction of a whole, and there's obviously going to be limitations, right? Like I can't decide to, throw grass seed down in my living room and water it and plant a garden in my living room because it's going to leak into the apartment below me. But if I have my own house and I want to put a garden in my living room and it's going to either leak into a basement or just into a concrete slab, nobody can stop me. It's stupid, I'll grant you, but nobody can stop me. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, are you getting a sassy estate? No. Mr. Miles, Bird of Prey, but still subject to whims of management, even if you own the condo. Absolutely. But again, that's a condo. Mr. Miles says, I talked to Kronos a few days ago. I hope he's good then. And Sci-Fi Nation says, no, I haven't seen him anywhere. Well, Mr. Miles, if you talk to Kronos again, just give him my best, and I hope he's okay. Last I heard, he had said something on Doomcock's stream that Doomcock took the wrong way, and I was hoping he'd have come back, but he hasn't. Sci-Fi Nation's Bird of Prey, sure you can. They make special liners for that. Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I just wanted to throw the dirt on. And like, honestly, like even some condo associations, you're not allowed to have a washer and dryer because a washing machine is just too easy. It leaks way too often to risk flooding out all the people below you. So, I mean, that's something you have to live with when you live in a condo or you live in an apartment building, whether you buy or rent. But if you're in your own freestanding house and there is nothing but dirt and a fence perhaps between you and your neighbor or you in the street, or there's no other houses even around, don't tell me what I can and can't do. Okay? That's it. What earlier? No, it's not deleted. It wasn't a stream.
A video.
It was a video.
Because I shared it.
Uh-huh.
And now,
Mr. Miles, I'm listening. Buildings still need to be up to code even if you own it. Each state has its own codes, but the enforcement can show up and tell you what to do even if you own the building. Yes, that's the government, which I told you already I have my problems with. But I have to deal with governments. I don't have to deal with homeowners associations. And Sci-Fi says big difference between code enforcement and HOA. Yes, indeed. Government, you can elect, and I'll grant you a homeowners association you can elect, but there's no one watching the HOA. Okay, you've got people watching government. As ridiculous as it seems, as crazy as it seems, there are some checks and balances in government. There aren't any in HOAs. That's the bottom line. Mr. Miles says, Bird of Prey, there's also laws you must follow. I forget the name, but those laws won't let your house look like a war zone. Where can you get a lot of dead grass because it's a fire hazard? Ms. Miles, those laws vary by city, county, state. There are really no such laws. Like New York City, your house can look like frickin' garbage. They're not going to do anything about it. Now, if it's a fire hazard, you can't have an open gas line because that would damage other people. That could kill your neighbors. So that's valid. But if you're not doing something that's dangerous, that's gonna kill people, if you just don't mow your lawn for 6 months, nobody's gonna get, your neighbor's gonna get pissed at you, but nothing stops them from cutting the grass as it grows over to their side. But nobody in New York City is gonna fine you for not mowing your lawn. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way it should be, but it's the best way it should be. I would like people to mow their lawn, but I'm not going to be fining people if they don't, because that's just it's bullshit to me. That's too much government intervention. Anyway, guys, I think we'll call it a night here, 7:10. Thank you, Wesley Crusher, for the Stanley Parable. Maybe we'll try it again someday. We'll see where we get. I don't know. I feel like I'm just missing something to this game, but it was interesting. I will give you that. It was an interesting night. Guys, please do remember, if you need any advice, or somebody who needs advice, a friend, a psychotic person on the bus or the train that you meet, just give them a little card, an index card, tell them BertoPray5.com, ask Bop, and they can, solve all your problems. Let people know about Ask Bop, and I think that's it. Have a good night, and Kapla, everyone. Sci-Fi Nation, Bird of Prey, great stream as always, bud. Live long and alpaca, everyone. Yes, live long and alpaca. Kapla. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BertoPray5.com, the new home of everything BertoPray5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BertoPray5 or on BertoPray5.com. Take care. I would say that's a matter of free speech, Wesley. Who's to say the numbers you put up on your house are an address and not just numbers you wanted to put on your house? But hey, that's up to you. Take care, everybody. Kapla.